Well, we are live. Welcome to the podcast. This is our first. Pretty excited here. What do you think?
I'm pumped up. Number one, to do the podcast, but number two, to do a podcast with your son is pretty exciting. The only thing that would be any better is if I had Grace and our grandson here. But other than that, I'll take you though.
He would definitely bring a different level of energy than what we have, but I think we're gonna do a good job here.
Yeah. By the way, Grayson's 6, so you can get a feel for what we're talking about here. But he's amazing.
So this is the Residual Earners podcast, and what we aim to do here is to give you insight, give you tips, give you the juice of what makes these kind of businesses work, so that you can implement it into your own life and have a ton of success. We're lucky to be joined with one of the best networkers in the world. My father, he's been doing it for 25 years.
30
years. Time flies. I've been doing it for 30 years, had great success with it. And, if we can all just take a little bit of what's in his brain, the things he does on a daily basis, I think we can all get better, grow a bigger business, and get that financial freedom that I think we're all looking for.
Absolutely. It's not a complicated business. It's a simple business. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's simple.
So when we're saying the business, we're talking about multi-level marketing, network marketing, things we can do that get people on our team, teach our team, and then replicate the business down to multiple levels that we get paid on.
Absolutely.
So let's just start off by a little bit of who are we. Give your background. I'll give my background. Obviously, you have much more extensive experience in this field, but just kind of start off. Let everybody know kind of who you are.
Well, Presley Swagerty, former high school basketball coach and algebra teacher. I coached at Lakeview High School in Garland, Texas. That's a suburb just east of Dallas for you guys that aren't familiar with it. Did that for 16 years. I loved it. I did it with a passion. I felt like I helped some kids, sponsored the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and wouldn't take for those years. But, when I first started and I was single, not making a whole lot of money in public education was okay. And then Jeannie and I got married, and that was okay for a while. She was working, I was working. But then these little bundles of joy popped in our lives, kind of like this guy sitting next to me. And we also have a daughter, Sarah Beth. And my coaching salary wasn't enough, and I was figuring out what to do. I finally decided the Dallas Mavericks were not going to call me, or the Los Angeles Lakers, so I didn't know what was going on. And a friend of mine showed me network marketing. Never had been involved, didn't know anything about it, but he was talking about residual income, and it caught my attention. So, I decided to take a look. I looked, didn't understand it all, but I decided to give it a shot. I thought, I think that might work. I mean, that was the logic in my mind at that point in time. So it was a small investment, so I jumped in. Took a while, but my first goal, guys, was to just make $1,000 a month. I thought, man, if I can make $1,000 a month, it'll help me pay some bills. We'd run up some credit card debt, and I thought, man, I can pay off some credit cards. Took a few weeks, but we got a check with a comma in it, and I was all pumped up. But I used to go to church with a guy named Zig Ziglar, and Zig would always say, go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you're going to be able to see further. Well, Zig was right. When we got it to 1,000, I could see 3 and then 5 and then 10, and we just kept resetting goals, guys. And I tell folks today that my reality is better than our dreams used to be, and that's not embellishing, guys. It's that's the truth. And then after a few years, Jordan got involved, and he is kind of underselling himself. He's been very successful at it, and I'll let him tell you his story.
Definitely, been around this business a long time, so I've taken a lot from what you do, and but a little bit about me. I went to school here in Dallas, Texas. I played baseball, got to play for the USA national team, which was a blast in high school. Went to Arizona State, played 2 years there, 2 College World Series. Had the time of my life at Arizona State. I loved those years. And then was lucky enough to be a second-round draft pick for the St. Louis Cardinals. Spent 6 years with the Cardinals. As I think, most professional athletes, there were ups and downs, good times, bad times. Ended up having a few surgeries. that career got cut short a little bit.
Let me jump in here. I was talking about you underselling yourself in network marketing. I'm the proud dad, but he didn't mention that in high school he was actually the National Player of the Year. And at Arizona State, he was an All-American and set the single season saves record as the closer. I could go on and on, but you get the picture. He wasn't just your run-of-the-mill baseball player.
Oh, I greatly appreciate that. But after college, played professional baseball for 6 years. And then when I was done with that, my dad kind of asked, what do you want to do? I had been doing, I'd never heavily done network marketing business, but I knew I was going to continue there. And then we ended up getting into the car business, and have been in the car business for 7 years. Have owned up to 6 dealerships at a time. Kind of applying a lot of these same principles, kind of the stuff we're going to go over today. Some of the ways to success, those same principles. And now we have recovery businesses, circuit board businesses. Got into auto transport business. So we've kind of through this business that we're a part of, we've been able to do so many other things with the freedom that this provides, which is just, a fantastic part of this whole thing.
No, absolutely. And what you find out is that you get a business that'll pay you significant money, number one, residual money, number two, and you can start branching out and doing other things. And that's what Jordan's talking about. We've got into a lot of things, but I'll say this: the networking business is still by far where I make most of my money.
Definitely. So let's kind of go into what is Residual Earners. Why did we start Residual Earners? What we aim to do, the benefits of residual income. Residual Earners, we're always looking for new things to kind of dabble in, new businesses to start, different avenues to get moving. And watching, my buddies, guys I played with that have started podcast. One of your best friends, Randy Hedge, who's doing unbelievable things on TikTok, seeing people have success in other ways than just, the old school method of pounding the pavement. We wanted to aim to get stuff out there, get content to people, let people learn what we're doing for success through podcasts that we're going to deliver each week, through short clips on TikTok, Instagram, all these things that people can just get little tidbits here and there, get some weekly motivation to keep moving, and overall all of us grow together and become more successful.
Well, and I will say this: if it wasn't for this 30-something sitting next to me, I wouldn't be doing podcasts, TikTok, and Instagram. I was old school, and he has convinced me that I need to be branching out. So here we are. And with the goal of this podcast being to help you to have some success. We're going to talk about, lots of things, all the different areas of networking and what it entails. And, I have been blessed to have some success at it. So I will share everything I know. I'm not going to hold anything back. The neat thing about networking is it's not a zero-sum game. For me to win doesn't mean you need to lose. We can all win in this business because there are millions, hundreds of millions of people here in the U.S., and there are billions, obviously, worldwide. We haven't even scratched the surface. So we're going to go into all the details, how to sell your services or products. We'll talk about how to recruit. We'll talk about, what you need to be doing personally to grow as a person to help you be successful. We're going to talk about all that stuff. So I'm excited about it. I love this business, and I'm excited to be sharing with lots of people, what we do and how we do it. And hopefully this will be, add value to your business and to your life.
Definitely. And I think the main thing, we're not trying to sell anything here. Mm-hmm. We want you to be successful in whatever business you're in, whatever network marketing company you're with. We want you to have success there. And these are tips that and things that have been proven to work that, hopefully you can just take a little nugget here and put it in your business and be more successful in what you're doing. So we're not trying to sell you on anything. We just all, like I said earlier, want to come together and grow and become better at what we do.
Amen. And I have been blessed to be very successful financially. I don't say that bragging at all, but I'm not here trying to sell you guys anything. I'm just here to share a little bit. I believe that to whom much is given, much is required, and I just want to give back. And if I can help somebody be successful, it thrills me.
Definitely. So let's jump into kind of the next segment. What is network marketing? Kind of let everybody know if they've never heard of network marketing, have never been introduced to anything. What is network marketing? Why does it work? Kind of give the lowdown on what we're talking about here.
Well, network marketing, I'm guessing that I'm not pushing any of these companies, but I'm guessing you've heard of a few of these, maybe Amway, Shackley, New Skin, Mary Kay, ACN. I mean, I could go down the list. There's lots and lots of networking companies, but basically what a network marketing company does, they decide what their product or service is. And then instead of using celebrity spokespeople, television ads, radio spots, door hangers, instead of using traditional advertising, they will use word of mouth. In other words, the best form of advertising there is, which is what? A friend telling a friend, word of mouth. I mean, those are the best forms of advertising there is. And think about this, guys. We all do that every day. We talk about a good movie. We tell people about a good restaurant, a good church, a good book, a good sale. We're always talking to people about what's going on and good things that we see. Well, with networking, you just tell people about a good product or service, and the company will compensate you as opposed to Michael Jordan or somebody like that. And it's just an alternative way to market products and services, and it's phenomenal because it is your business.
Definitely. So just what are a few of the different products that these companies sell? These people haven't heard of some of these companies. So what are some different avenues that these companies use?
My goodness, I could go down the list here. It's basically anything and everything. You've got a company like Amway that does anything that's in your house, from toothpaste to dishwashing detergent to laundry detergent to clothes. I could go down the list. We've probably heard of Mary Kay. My gosh, it's makeup and stuff for the ladies, and so much more now. It has grown. ACN is essential services, TV, internet, electricity, healthcare. I mean, it's basically anything and everything. It's just different companies decide to do it, a little bit different way, and that is with word of mouth marketing. I mean, obviously, we've probably all heard of, the vitamins and supplements. That is a big product in network marketing. So there's everything that's out there. If you want to market something, if you'll look around, you can probably find a company that markets that product or service.
Definitely, which kind of brings me to my next question for you. Let's go over pros and cons of these of the different products. So, what's the pros and cons if it's, soaps, loaps, and potions, where people have to come in and buy your product, weekly, monthly, where you're always having to be in communication with your customer, as opposed to, electricity, cell phones, things of that nature that are, I don't look monthly to change my cell phone. I have it. My electricity, I'm not looking to change it. I do it one time and that's it. So kind of go over the differences there, pros and cons.
Well, there's obviously pros and cons to everything. And this is really, when you're picking a company, it's really going to boil down to, what do you have passion for? What do you like? What do you have interest in? That's going to be the biggest thing. Now, obviously, if you're doing products, then you're continuously selling your product. But if you've got a great product, it's going to sell itself. If you're with a company that offers services, electricity, cell phones, internet, TV, healthcare. I guess the positive of that one is that they're going to be making those payments every month anyway. And if they decide to go with you, chances are they're going to stick with you a while, and you don't have to call them back up the next month and say, do you need more electricity or do you need more cell phone service? But it's going to really boil down to each individual that's watching today is, what interests you? What are you looking for? What floats your boat a little bit? And there's good and bad with every company that's out there. Obviously, some are better than others, but I'm telling you right now, you can find something that you like, and with a company that has a great track record that's been around for years.
Definitely. So let's get to what everybody wants to know. How are you compensated in these businesses? Kind of give the rundown of compensation. We don't have to go over dollars, but just how all that works. Different levels getting paid off of. Kind of dumb that down for everyone.
Well, I'll go into it, but there's as many different compensation plans as there are companies out there, and there's a bunch worldwide. But I'll give you just kind of a flavor of how it works. How's that? A lot of times you will, if you sell a certain amount of products or get people to enroll in a certain amount of services, you'll get some bonus money. So in other words, let's say if you sign up 5 people for something, then you're going to get a bonus that month, $100, $200, $300, $500, whatever the company happens to offer. So you're getting bonus money with what you offer people, what you enroll people with, or the products that you sell people. So bonus money is nice because that is immediate income. Usually companies will pay weekly. Whatever you do this week, they pay you the end of next week. Bonus money's fine. The thing that we all want to get, and if you go back to the name of our podcast here, Residual Earners, you're really after something that you can do one time and get paid over and over and over again, as long as that customer stays your customer. Now, that's kind of the asterisk there, is if you sign somebody up and they only stay a couple of months, you're not going to get 5 years of residual income from them. But you want to build a customer base, whether it be with products or services, either one, where each month they're buying products and services, and you'll get the bonus, like I said, for signing them up initially, but you'll also get a bonus for or get a residual check for them using it on a continuous basis. And that's really what we want. We want a huge customer base that keeps using the products or services every month, and we start getting that residual income off of that, which is, guys, I'll say this. As a teacher, now I grew up dirt poor in Southeast Dallas in the ghettos. Literally, there were 2 murders and a rape within 7 houses of where I grew up. We grew up in a little 600 square foot house that was falling down. I had no dad in my life. My mom worked in a sewing factory. She was a godly lady, and I am who I am because of my mom. But I didn't know what residual income was until I got involved in networking. And I'll say this, you start building a team, and all of a sudden those checks start coming for people using the service each and every month. And as that team gets bigger, that residual check keeps growing. And again, as long as you keep those customers, that residual check will keep growing as long as you're working the business, adding more customers to it. But, we add our own personal customers, but in most network companies, you can build a team of people that get a handful of customers, and you make some money off of theirs too. You usually make more off of your personal customers, but you'll also make money off your team's customers. So you want to get customers yourself, and you want to build a team of people that get customers. I mean, most companies are customer acquisition companies. I mean, let's face it, they're using folks like us to get their customers instead of running a TV slot. You get money, bonus money, you get residual income. And some companies, as you're building the team, if you get somebody involved in the business and they go out and get 3, 4, 5 services or products or whatever enrolled, you can get a bonus for building your team a lot of times. But like I said at the beginning, there's as many different compensation plans as there are companies out there. And we'd have to be here for a month if I went into all the different ways you can get paid.
Definitely. And I think everyone can see we have Residual Earners as the podcast name. We talk about residual a lot. That's where that financial freedom comes from, because last I checked, you can go on vacation for a month, not do one thing, and that check's still going to hit, middle of the month, and whether you did anything at all. And that's that residual income that we're all striving for.
And let me throw a disclaimer out right now. I can't guarantee anybody watching this podcast anything. I can't even guarantee you're going to wake up in the morning. It's your business. So it's going to all depend on you. If you do nothing, you're going to make nothing. If you do a little bit, you're going to make a little bit. And if you do a whole lot, you've got a chance to make some significant money. But it's going to all boil down to you. So don't leave this podcast after watching it and run around saying Presley said that we're going to all get rich. Nope. It's not the way it works. Doesn't work that way in anything. So it's going to all boil down to your efforts, your drive, your desire. You know, me being an old coach, it really is going to boil down to your heart. What do you have inside you when the going gets tough? Or are you going to fold your tent and go home, or are you going to get after it? Because in any business, and Jordo's rattled off several of them that we're in, there's issues every day. Issues every single day, and networking is no different. You're going to have good days and bad days, and good weeks and bad weeks, and good months and bad months. But the thing that enticed me into this business was, as a coach, I didn't have a chance to make big money. But with networking, again, no guarantees, but there is a chance to make some serious money. And I think that's what gets most of us involved. But if your goal is just to make $500 to help pay some bills, hey, more power to you. That's awesome. But if your goal is to make, life-changing kind of money, you've got a chance to do that as well.
Definitely. And I think, we're seeing that everybody, no matter the age, is doing this business. And I think for the younger crowd, which, I keep seeming to get older each year, I'm slowly getting further away from it. But for the younger crowd, you can really use social media. You can use this podcast platform that we're starting to use. You can really get information out there to a lot of different people quickly, and it can rapidly grow your business. And that's one thing that we're implementing. And we've always done a little bit, but now we're diving all the way into, because you can get information out there so quickly to so many different people and grow your business rapidly. Which is why I think the younger generation really likes this. They're not having to go to an office every day. They don't have a boss that's coming in and telling them what to do. They can wake up when they want to. And if you're consistent with this business, no matter if you start at 8 in the morning or at noon, if you're consistent each day, putting the work in, you can grow this business, which I think is why the younger generation is doing it. If you want to shed any light on that.
Well, if you're totally brand new to network marketing, the old rule of thumb has been, you get in the business, you get a few of the services or products ordered because you want to be your own best customer. You start making a list of everybody you've ever known, because the one thing I will tell you is that nobody has the company name stamped on their forehead. You don't know who's going to be interested and who's not. People can drive an old beater and live in a raggedy house and be broke. Absolutely. But they can also be driving a Mercedes, living in a 6,000 square foot house, and still be living paycheck to paycheck. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. So you make a list of everybody you've known, and you start making calls saying, hey, I got something I'd like to run by you. Do you look at other ways to make money? You can go down the list. It's something that's comfortable for you. For me, I just always say, do you look at other ways to make money? And if they say yes, I say, I got something I want to run by you. That's the old fashioned way. Now, don't get me wrong. That still works. I have built a huge organization doing it that way. But I am coming to understand that as times are changing, that you can do a whole lot with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and podcasts. So we're branching out here and going to try to teach people, obviously I'll teach you both methods because, and Jordan will too, but, we will know both methods of just talking to people that we know. If you bump into a good waiter or waitress that has a good personality, you look at them and say, hey, you're doing a great job. Hey, do you look at other ways to make money? You do? Hey, I got something I want to run by you. And then, you go home and you do a TikTok. There's lots of different ways to tackle this, but I'm excited about doing something new. Jordan says he's feeling older. You should sit in my chair here and you'll really feel old. But I'm excited about something new. I can teach you both ways, and I'm excited about that.
Definitely. I think, the one thing when prospecting is looking for people that, as you said, if it's a waiter, are they doing their job well? Well, they take pride in what they're doing. They have a little bit of passion. They got some drive, obviously. This could be a good person to talk to. If I didn't get service for 25 minutes and I'm sitting here with no water in my cup, I don't know if that's the person we need to be talking to. But you mentioned TikTok. I think it'd be a good time to give a little insight. Your best friend is killing it with TikTok. Tell them a little bit about Randy and what he's doing and having such success with.
Well, you guys, his name is Randy Hedge. You can go check him out. He's known as the Cowboy, and when you see him, you'll understand why. He is a true cowboy. He wears the hats and the Wranglers and the boots, and he has cows and horses and lives out in the country. I mean, he is a cowboy, and therefore he's known as the Cowboy. But Randy Hedge, and he just gets on and tells life stories, just talks to people on TikTok about what's going on in his life, and how he's had some failures in his life, how he's had some successes in his life. But, he's just talking to people. And as he's talking to people, he draws them in because he's a good guy. He's got a good heart, and he's trying to help people. And, he'll have people, message him or email him or, I think he puts his phone number on there even. So sometimes people will call him and ask for advice. But TikTok has been a big success for him. And, again, he's about my age. So I decided if he can do it, so can I. So, here we are. But Randy Hedge, go check him out.
Definitely. And again, he's not trying to sell anything. He's just being real. He's telling the people exactly, I got good days, I got bad days. And at the end of the day, this is how I grow my business. Kind of the same thing we're doing, just on a different platform. And it's been really cool to see. I always love when I see a new video of his come up. Just really, really love what he's doing right now. Let's jump into kind of the juice of this podcast, which I think is 3 ways to have quick success. Again, you can't promise success to anybody, but there are things you can do to get success quicker, and things that you can start doing that you'll see a change in your business if you're consistent. In my notes, I always have, it's got to be consistent effort. If you do something one time and it doesn't work and you stop, no one can help you. But if you're doing it every day, you will see, positive change in your business. So why don't we give, your 3 success tips for somebody getting into the business that can really get them going on the right foot?
Sure. I'll give you three tips here. And you were talking about quitting. I was reading a book a Navy SEAL wrote, and he said, quit tomorrow. He said, never quit today, quit tomorrow. Well, then the next day you quit tomorrow, because sometimes your emotions are going to run away with you, and you've had a bad day and 3 or 4 people have told you no, and you're going to want to quit. I'll tell you that right now, but just quit tomorrow. And then when tomorrow comes, get out there and go again. And then if you're having a bad day, quit tomorrow. Just, in other words, never quit. Just keep always quitting tomorrow. And, he said that's how he got through his basic training. He said they were trying to kill him, he felt like, but he would feel like quitting, but he would just think, I'm going to wait and quit tomorrow. And then the next day he would wait and quit tomorrow. So understand, you're going to have good days and bad days. And when you're having those bad days, quit tomorrow. All right, 3 quick tips. Number 1, and I mentioned it earlier, but I'll go into it right now. Be your own best customer. I can't really share with people how good something is if I'm not using it myself, whether it be, vitamins, lotions, potions, services, whatever it happens to be. You got to be your own best customer, because understand, this is a monkey see, monkey do business. As you're building your team is going to do what you do. Well, obviously, we're wanting to create residual income. Well, how do you create residual income? It's by getting services yourself and building a team of people that get services or products. So we're going to lead the way by being our own best customer. In other words, if I need it and my company offers it, I'm getting it from myself. Think about this. If you had a gas station on this corner, you wouldn't go across the street to another person's gas station and buy your gas, would you? Well, no, you wouldn't even think about it. Well, guys, be the same way with this. Be your own best customer. In other words, again, if you need it, get it from yourself. Number 2, plug in to everything you can plug into to learn. Your company will have meetings. Your company will have big events. You can get on our podcast. Anything you can do to learn, because, guys, you can't be great when you first start. You got to get in, you got to learn, and you can become great, but it's going to be by you plugging in. I remember when I first started, I just told people I was ignorance on fire. I didn't know what in the frick I was doing. I'm just running around. But the more I plugged in, the more I listened, the more I talked to the leaders, the more I, watched, the more I did everything, the better I got. And that's the way you'll be as well. So be your own best customer and plug into everything you can plug into. Be a sponge and learn. And then number 3, what you're going to find out is, I was reading Schwarzenegger's book, 7 Tools for Life, I think is the name of it. And he talks about sell, sell, sell. Well, guys, we've got to get customers. There's no doubt. No matter what company you decide to join, you're a customer acquisition company. That's what we are. We are the acquisition arm of whatever company you join. So we've always got to be talking about our services, talking about our products, talking about whatever we're offering. Replicate yourself. You want to duplicate yourself. And we're always looking for people that want to join us and be a business partner with us. So we're looking for customers. We're looking for business partners. That's the 2 things that we're doing in this business. Those are the 2 revenue generating activities for any company that you're with, is getting customers for your products or services and finding some business partners. So I always tell people, be showing the plan, show 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 the plan. Whatever your plan is for your company, be showing it. Now, there's two directions you can go here. One, you can lead with services and try to get people on the services. And then if they like the services, see if they want to join you as a business partner. Some people call them reps. Some people call them just business partners. Some companies call them associates, whatever your company calls them. But you might lead with products or services and then try to get them as an associate. Or you can lead with the business, and if they don't want to be your business partner, then you can see if they'll be your customer and see if they'll buy your products or services. That's the 2 different ways. But my 3 tips would be: 1, be your own best customer. Number 2, plug into everything you can plug into. And number 3, you got to be out there selling. You got to be showing the plan. You got to be getting customers. You got to be getting business partners, because when it all boils down to it, the revenue generating activities, there's only 2 of them with your company. That's going to be getting customers or getting business partners. So let's do those 3 things, and you'll get off to a quick start.
Definitely. And, thinking a little deeper into be your own best customer, most of the time when you're getting into a network marketing company, especially essential services, they're offering it at a better rate than you can get with the bigger companies out there. So you save money, and you're saving other people money, and that's what makes this business easier to get moving. Is if I go to somebody and say, hey, I have this product, it's an essential product, you use it now, and I can save you money each month. Friends, family, people in your life are genuinely going to listen when you're not, selling them something that they don't need. So it's a easy way to get in the door and just say, hey, I can save you money on this product. Just take a look at it. You can tell me no if you want to, but just take a look. And I think, I've heard you say this for years when getting business partners is just take a look. I'm not going to force you in anything. I'm not going to hard sell you on this. Just take a look. Know what you're saying no to. And then if you do want to say no, that's fine. But I think you're going to like what you see whenever we sit down and have coffee, have dinner, whatever it is. But just take a look. Push for that. Just take a look.
No, it's I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just sorting. I'm just looking for the ones that are looking, and that's got to be your attitude, because it takes the pressure off of you. If I'm trying to convince somebody to join me, a lot of times you'd be trying to convince them against their own will, and that's no fun. If I go into it understanding that I'm just sorting people, I'm just looking for the ones that are looking, and if you're not looking, that's great. Hey, be my customer, and let's move on down the road. But you're right. Your friends and family, they're going to help you. If you got the same price or a little better, why wouldn't they? I mean, we're going to help each other. And I'll give you this tip, and this is a big one. When you're looking to get those customers, I'm going to challenge you to not call Grandma up or Aunt Agnes up and try to sell them. Just call them up and tell them, hey, I need a favor. I've started a business. I got to get a handful of customers, and I hope I can count on you to be one of them. And if you'll go into it asking for a favor, people love to help people. People hate to be sold. So that's just I'm not even going to charge you for that one. That's a free one today.
Definitely. And a couple of success tips I have is one, I mentioned it earlier, consistency. This isn't something that most times day one, you start off and just have a bunch of momentum. You've kind of got to create your own momentum. And how do you create momentum in a business like this? It's being consistent and continuing to do these actions that are money-making actions. I think that's huge. And number two, you mentioned earlier that making a list is a little old school, and it may be old school, but again, this business takes some time to gain that momentum. So let's make that list early on. Let's start talking to people while we're getting the social media going, while we're getting a podcast going, whatever other, avenues we're going to get moving. But let's make that list. So, hey, we're talking to people. We're trying to move the needle. And if you just move the needle a little bit each day in the right direction, you're going to have long-term success.
Yeah, it's, I equate this business to pushing a car. You run out of gas, you can see a gas station about a mile away, and you start pushing your car. Well, when you're pushing that car by yourself, it's hard. But then let's say you recruit 2 or 3 people. Now there's 3 or 4 of you pushing. Still hard, but a whole lot easier than it was. Well, then all 4 of you go get 2 or 3 more people. Now all of a sudden there's 12 of you pushing the car. That's when you say, hey guys, I'm going to get in and steer, y'all push. When you first get your business going, understand it's going to be tough. I mean, I can't say it any other way. And I say tough because you're the whole team, I guess is why I'm saying that. You're playing quarterback, you're playing receiver, you're playing offensive line, you're playing defensive line, you're playing defensive back, you're playing running back. I mean, you're playing all the positions because it's just you. So just make that list, start making those calls, just saying, hey, do you look at other ways to make money? Here's how, if I'm on the phone, here's more how I do it. I'll call up and I'll say, hey, Jordan, Presley, what's up? Hey, listen, this is really a business call. Got a quick question for you. Do you look at other ways to make money? You do? Hey, listen, I found something I think is pretty exciting. I think we got a chance to make some serious money. Does Tuesday or Thursday evening work better for you? I mean, I just let them know real quick, hey, business call, because I want to distinguish it, because these are people I know usually. I want to distinguish it from me just shooting the breeze with them. And then, hey, business call, do you look at other ways to make money? That's just how I've always done it, and it's worked pretty well. But I'll say this about making a list, because I know some of you folks listening, you're experienced networkers, or you've been in for a while. Guys, I have been networking for 30 years. I have talked to every good buddy I have. I've talked to people that I barely know now. But you know what I did the last few days while the holidays were here? I went through my phone and I looked at all my texts, and I had a bunch of them. Do you realize that new people in my life that I haven't talked to, I have been texting with for different reasons, not about networking, just, maybe something I had them do at the house or whatever. But I literally, over the last few days, I have written out about 2.5 pages of people that I want to get in contact with. And I went back for months of people that were in my text that I just hadn't talked to or hadn't followed up with or hadn't whatever. So even if you've been in a while and you've talked to all your good buddies, guys, there's always some more people coming into your life. Unless you're a hermit living in a cave, you're always going to have new people coming into your life, and it's new people to talk to.
Definitely. And I think that's one reason you have such success, as we've been talking about it. You're consistent with it. It's we've done one thing, now let's find something else we can do to keep gaining momentum and growing this business. You just sit there and say, hey, I'm going to go through my phone today. That's what I feel like is going to get the ball rolling the most. And it helps. Every little bit helps. And you can find one person in the text message that is a game changer financially. One person is all you're looking for that can change your financial picture. And maybe just hit quickly on that, how one person can change your entire business.
Well, that's happened to me. I've been blessed to have several good people join my business, but I'll give you one example here. Sarah Beth, my daughter, Jordan's sister, was buying a car. I went with her as the good dad to negotiate. She ended up buying the car, and when it was over, the sales guy had been friendly. I said, "Hey, do you look at other ways to make money?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Have you had lunch?" He goes, "No." I said, "Let's run down to Jason's Deli." I bought him a sandwich, showed him what we were doing. In other words, I showed him a business presentation or whatever your company calls it. He said, "I'm in." To make a long story short, that one guy has put in thousands and thousands and thousands of people on his team, and him by himself totally changed my financial picture. Now, I've signed up a bunch of people that didn't do anything. They didn't even get off first base. So understand, it's not everybody you talk to is going to be a dynamo, but just understand you're just looking for a few. It's not, you don't have to have 10,000 people that are killing it. You just have to have a few people. And when you get the right ones, good things can happen in your networking business.
Definitely. No, it's amazing just how one person can really, change the amount of money you have coming in each month. But what else you got for us? Give us a couple more tidbits before we get off here. We got, a couple more minutes. Give us something else. Give us some final thoughts. I think we've done pretty good for episode 1 of the Residual Earners podcast. That's pretty cool to say.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've given them some value here.
That's
considering it didn't cost them anything.
Exactly. This is free.
I want to say it again. This has been a blast. I've loved doing it. I love talking about networking because it has changed my life and my family's life, and I love sitting here next to my son doing this. A final thought. Here's my final thought for today. I'm going to give you 3 quick things. One. I think we got to get back in the dream business again. I think as Americans and worldwide even, but as Americans, we've give up on our dreams. Reality is just beat the heck out of us. And when we were in school, when we were young, we were going to conquer the world. We were going to live in the big, beautiful home, and our best friend was going to be in the big, beautiful home right next to us. And we're going to be driving the sports car or whatever favorite car we had. And as we end up getting a job, it's not the job we really want, but I'll keep it for a while. And then next thing you know, you've been there 5 or 10 years and you still got a job you really didn't want. You just took it because you were going to just make a little money for a little while. In other words, we get trapped into leading a life we never intended to live. Guys, that happens to a lot of us. I read the other day that 80% of Americans hate their job. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we got to get back to dreaming again. And with network marketing, you have a chance, no guarantees. You have a chance to change your life. You have a chance to make some significant money, and you can start dreaming again. So I'm going to challenge you, start dreaming again. Number 2, besides dreaming, I think we've got to grow as a person. That's going to be huge. When I was in college, I was on the Just Get Me Out of Here program. And I hate to admit that now, especially if we get young people watching, but understand, young people, I have changed. I am now always reading. I'm watching different things on YouTube, trying to learn about different subjects. Like I said, I'm reading Schwarzenegger's new book. I read that over the last few days. I'm just telling you that I'm trying to learn. We've got to learn, guys. We've got to grow as a person. And the way we can do that is, 1, by reading. Number 2 is by, instead of watching the time-wasting electronic income reducer that some people call a TV, watch some personal growth giants. Watch some Zig Ziglar, Stephen Covey, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. I mean, I could just go down the list, but let's watch some personal growth giants teaching us how to change our lives. And then, the third one is run with winners, guys. We all know winners and we all know losers. Let's get real. Spend less time with the losers, more time with the winners. And guys, I'm telling you, that's probably been the biggest game changer for me since I started really focusing on that. But we need to get back in the dream business again. We need to grow as a person. And then, my third key is going to be, you're going to have to work your butt off. If you think this is winning the lottery, you're wrong. This is not winning the lottery. The thing that excited me about network marketing was I had a chance to do something big. In my job, I didn't have a chance to do something big. I could squeak out a living, but I didn't have a chance. We've got a chance here, but understand it's going to take you putting out effort to get that team built, that customer base built, and then good things can happen. So let's dream, let's grow, and let's work.
Perfect. I'll throw one thing on there being, the second is when we're filming this podcast. But guys, you need to be making a list of everything you want to accomplish in the upcoming year. You need to set these goals, do these New Year's resolutions, and you need to make them attainable, because chasing a carrot that you'll never catch is not doing you any good. Make these goals attainable, and then hold yourself accountable. You've got to hold yourself accountable. If you want to get in this business, if you want to change your financial picture, you're going to have to hold yourself accountable. So get a notepad, whatever it is, make your goals. I've already made mine for the year, whether it's, I have financial goals. I have work goals. I have husband, father, and kind of self goals, how I want to, as a person, grow.
How about being son goals, to be the best son you can be, huh?
I'll add another category. I didn't hit that one, but I will make another category just for you and mom. But, I have those 5 categories right now that I came up with, and I'm going to hit those goals. I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm going to make sure that at the end of 2024, I am a better person, a better businessman, and a better leader of my household than I am today. And I think, if you do those things, you can see them daily, and you hold yourself accountable, you're going to get better throughout the year. And I think that's huge.
I'm going to say amen to everything he just said. And I will tell you this, put everything he talked about, those different areas, your goals in them, put them where you can see them. You want to be able to see those every day, and you want to be reminded of them every day. And you guys, just understand, we can all do so much more than we think we can. And if you'll just start working every day, doing a little bit, because see, we tend to think we can do more in one day than we can, and we tend to think we can do less in a year than we can. I'm telling you, if you will do a little bit every day, good things will happen. Let me give you one quick example, and then we'll wrap this thing up. If I said to you, could you read 10 pages out of a good book today if you thought it was important? Well, I'm guaranteeing everybody on this podcast would say, yeah, I could take 15, 20 minutes and read 10 pages. Okay, good. Would that change your life? Chances are it wouldn't. But what if you read 10 pages again tomorrow, and 10 pages the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day? And how about for one calendar year, you read 10 pages out of a good book, which, let's get real, we could all do that. That would be pretty simple to do, actually. Do you realize that I taught math, but 365 times 10 is 3,650. Actually, this year, Jordan, it's 366 days. This is a leap year. It's a leap year this year. I'm in a big year. So we could read 3,660 pages. That screwed me up.
You got
being a leap year.
You get 10, your deal there.
I know, 10 more pages. But anyway, guys, that is 3,660 pages this year. Do you realize you've read somewhere between a dozen and 24 good books by reading 10 pages a day? Do you see, if you just do a little bit every day, see, all those little sums add up, and they'll be your year's accomplishments. And we can accomplish so much in a year if we'll just make sure and do a little bit every day, because we're all procrastinators by nature. We have got to hold ourselves accountable. We've got to be disciplined, and discipline just means doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And here's the key, whether you feel like it or not. Guys, I'm going to challenge you. Let's change our lives this year. Let's do some amazing things, not just financially, but as Jordan pointed out, be a better spouse, be a better father, be a better mother, be a better son or daughter, be a better businessman, businesswoman, be a better whatever. I mean, set your goals physically. Let's get in shape, guys. I mean, let's start watching what we eat. Let's make sure, and if nothing else, walk around the block a few times. Let's get some exercise. Let's do some stuff to change our lives, because get this, guys, this life is not a dress rehearsal. We don't get do-overs. This is the one and only. We got to do it this time, but I'm going to tell you, you can.
Definitely. And, going back to the 10 pages a day, it's consistency. They've heard it a lot today. It's consistency. Well, guys, we can't be more grateful for everybody that has tuned in for the Residual Earners podcast. It's super fun, to do this with my dad, to start something new, and see, how we can grow this thing, how we can help people and all grow together. We haven't come up with the set yet. This is the set for today. We've got a few things floating around, so you may see us a different setup next time. Who knows? Right now, we wanted to get moving. We wanted to get this thing kicked off, get information out to you guys, and really start to grow this thing. And I'm excited to see where in the world this goes.
I'm excited too. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to do one of these a week. So we hope you'll watch us once a week. And for you that are really wanting to change your life, if you'll take some notes and start working on it, we'll help you.
Definitely. We haven't picked the exact day of the week. I'm leaning towards Friday that these will be, pushed out. But obviously, we will let everybody know. Thanks for tuning in, and let's have a great week, guys.
God bless you guys. We love you.
Awesome.